So today I'm actually talking to a very experienced MyoVision user, Dr. Patrick Frain. And why don't you introduce yourself? Tell me a little more about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you having me today. And my name is Dr. Patrick Frain, and I practice in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we've been in practice for about 12 years. And a big part of our practice is seeing families and seeing children and seeing moms who bring everybody in eventually. So it's a really nice practice. It's one of the larger practices in Green Bay. And one of the reasons that you and I got to meet was because the way we've built our practice was actually through using the MyoVision system. And so that's where this became a neat opportunity.
Yeah, you were telling me when I met you in Michigan, you were telling me about how you use it in your practice and how you sort of built a lot of how you function around it. Tell me a little bit about that. What do you actually do? What's your procedure with the MyoVision?
Absolutely. So we use MyoVision for several different things. We use MyoVision for the initial new patient examination when they come in, and then we also use it for progress examinations, and we use it for their yearly examination. And not only would we do orthos and neuros and things like that would be part of a regular exam, but what we found with MyoVision, and it's advanced throughout the years from when we bought it 12 years ago to what's available now, but what we've noticed is that that's the visual. That's what the patients come in, that they see. They love seeing their x-rays, they love hearing all the terminology, but when they can see what their body looks like at the beginning, it justifies the need for care, and then we can actually document progress as they go.
Right.
So the way we do that is a new patient comes in, and we'll do a set of x-rays if needed. We'll do our ortho neuros, our physical evaluation, but then we will also use the MyoVision technology to do a thermography scan with them, to do the SCMG component, and to do range of motion. So what we do is we do those three components and those three tests. Then we bring them back on the next day for their chiropractic report of findings. That's when we show them their x-rays, we go over the exam findings, and that's when we show them their MyoVision results. And I think what our experience over the past 12 years is that's where people really come in and they start being able to see their tension. They start to see their imbalance. Most of the time, the findings from MyoVision completely correlate with where a patient had an issue. They'll come in and they'll say, oh, I had something in the shoulder, and there's a big red reading right in the shoulder. We also encourage them to bring a spouse with them to the appointment as well. When that happens, sometimes the spouse is skeptical. They're not sure. Maybe the person's already been to a couple doctors. Now they bring their spouse with them, and the spouse sees an objective finding that says, wow, you weren't making this up. There is tension. There is imbalance. There is the medium, high, or high readings on the thermography scan. So it really helps to justify when we put a care plan together for them to say, here's what you need. It took a while to get like this, and it's going to take a while to get you improved. Now, in our office, Dr. Susan, my wife and partner, and I, this is where we feel really strongly that it's also great to do progress exams. So about every 12 visits, 12 to 14, we will do a progress exam with a new MyoVision scan. And what that enables us to do is enable us to say, okay, Sally, here was your initial exam. Now here's the progress exam that can show what's new, what's different, where do we focus our attention next, and what's better. It does two different things. It shows them that they're making progress. Even if they don't feel better, they can objectively see progress. And it also justifies the need for them to continue, because inevitably there's still some areas of medium high tension or some imbalance you want to get cleared out. So it leads them into that next phase of care. And then at the end of their time period with us, their care plan with us, then we do a yearly exam, which involves a few more things. But then what we will do is we'll say, okay, a year ago, here you were, and here you are now. And for them to see that journey of where they've gone, subjectively, their comments are, I'm doing great, and objectively, they can see just how well they've done. So MyoVision has enabled us to do that, and that's why we love it so much.
That's great, and it's been 12 years. That's a long time. You're not just, it's not something you just suddenly are excited by because you want to use it for a few weeks. I mean, it's been a really long time. And use it all the time.
We do, every patient.
Yeah. Now you told me also, you sent me an email. And you were telling me how well has this helped you with getting people to sign up for care plans? So I noticed that email you sent me. It was basically, one patient alone. Is it help at all? I mean, is it valuable to you that way?
Well, I think to be honest with you, it makes all the difference in the world to be able to have a patient understand the need for repetitive visits of chiropractic. As chiropractors, we understand 3 times a week for 4 weeks, and then 2 times a week for a number of weeks, and once a week. But what happens if we're 12 years in practice and we have patients that year after year after year continue to renew with us for every 2-week care or every 3-week care or once a month care? MyoVision helps with that because a new scan every year shows them, hey, you're doing great. Look how clear the scans are. Let's keep that up. It's because you've been here. Let's keep up that momentum. Or it'll actually say, you know what, I know that you might not physically feel it yet, but you're getting some muscular imbalance, or that ski trip really did you in, and now we have a few things to work with, so let's continue. Right. And I can't stress enough to anyone that's watching this how important that visual aspect is when it's not just your word, but it's an objective researched finding behind it that you can get. We used to give everything in paper. Now with the e-scan technology, you can email them everything, and that's awesome.
That's really cool too. So one of the things other people are really interested in, this is something that I saw you developed that I think is super cool, is your ChiroPoint stuff. And where I see that being really valuable, a lot of guys are asking me how to get out to companies, how to do screenings, how to go do health talks, and they need help with that kind of stuff. And what I thought was really interesting was how you've put together, you've made this basically a customized program which actually provides them with all the materials they need to do that. And you've created one that's built around the MyoVision. Because I've seen guys do this where they go and they'll do a presentation, but they're not sure what to do for the health talk, and then they'll do the MyoVision afterwards, sort of. But it looks like you've tied this together. Tell us a little bit more about what you've done with your new product.
Absolutely, and it is our product. It is ChiroPoint. This is it here. And what the doctor gets essentially is a 3 CD set that has everything that I'm about to talk about on it. What it is.
Hold that up a little bit longer. I want to see it again. So, cool. Yep, makes you the expert wellness doctor for your community. That's the key right there. And it's all in this one package, which is really neat. So tell us a bit about it.
Exactly. It is in one package. What we found 12 years ago when we started wanting to do screenings, when we wanted to do health talks at gyms or at health food stores or in companies and businesses, we actually had a lot of doors closed on us. We were really energetic coming out of school, but all we would talk about would be the spine and the nervous system. And truthfully, a lot of people thought that it was a sales thing, and they didn't want you coming by and just, selling, drumming up business. So what we've over the years developed is with the ChiroPoint product is we've actually selected and developed 12 presentations, 12 health talks on a variety of topics like lowering cholesterol naturally, improving nutrition in children, ADHD talks, all sorts of things that people actually want to hear. Now what we do is when we go to health clubs, businesses, gyms, anywhere, we're talking about avoiding the flu naturally. And people are interested in those types of things. Right. So what the presentations with ChiroPoint do is they take topics that people want to hear, fully customizable to whatever the doctor wants to do for their own brand of chiropractic or their office. It educates their audience on whatever the topic is, ties everything back to the nerve system, ties everything back to chiropractic, and then our newest product, the ChiroPoint MyoVision Edition, actually links doing a MyoVision screening right into the health talk that you're there to give. Right. And one of the things that we were told over the years was doctors didn't know how to link the two. They didn't know how to naturally get their audience from talking about something like Your Health is Skin Deep, which is a detoxification program about dermatology, toxins of subluxation, will you? How do you go from there to doing a MyoVision screening? Right. And what the ChiroPoint MyoVision Edition does is it links those two. It gradually brings the person around to muscle tension imbalance, toxins, what's showing up with them. And then the MyoVision edition of ChiroPoint takes the last portion of the presentation and literally brings people up to do a screening right then and there with the technology, and then emailing them their e-scan results. Right. And that's been huge for us.
Yeah, that's what's so great. I actually watched, Dr. Susan do the presentation, and I loved it. I love the fact that you're actually offering some really great information to these people on topics they're interested in, and, right. And still, so you're doing this really wonderful thing, which is extremely ethical, and you're providing this great information, and still giving them that option of learning about chiropractic at the same time, and right. Tying it together by using MyoVision to show them what's going on in their bodies. And I've seen that part myself. I've seen the elements separately, but I've never seen them brought together this way in such a great way. And your presentation is so smooth the way it works, and you bring it in there. And the coolest thing, like I see people do this, where they do the MyoVision scan as the end of their health talk, and when they do that and they email the test to the patient or the prospective patient, they receive it 2 minutes later at their cubicle. You go into an office, they'll receive it 2 minutes later. It's got all your contact information. You really can't beat it. So it brings everything together beautifully, leading to a whole bunch of new patients, which is great. So
and that's where the success of ChiroPoint comes in. We actually have in this set here, there's 900 hours of development and product preparation that the doctors get to use, and is fully customizable. I know that doctors can make up their own PowerPoints. I understand that. The question is, do they have the time? Do they have the 900 hours to make these up? Every image that's used in there is a copyright available image for them to use. So they're giving something that's legally able to be presented. All the information is documented and researched as to where it's from. So if you're making a claim about something, there's a little blurb on there that says this is where the information's from. So the doctor is always giving ethical, proper information. But the really cool thing that's worked with ChiroPoint with us and with a lot of our doctors that are using our system is that it's easy to get into a company or a business or a health food store or a gym to give one talk. But how do you then get the next talk? And do you give the same talk month after month after month? Because if you're giving your same healthcare talk every month, it gets old and it gets stale. With this, the doctors literally have 12 months worth of presentations. They have a spring wellness program, a summer wellness program, a fall and winter wellness program. And it also includes, I'm going to show you, it also includes all their marketing materials. That's something that sets ChiroPoint apart. So they actually get a flyer that would have their wellness social information. Each month they get one of these. They have press releases that have it written in Associated Press format so that newspapers and print media and video media can actually accept it. We can convert the event into an open house for them. This shows how to do that so they can have people come for an open house. It includes a speaker survey. So now when you're giving your talk at the gym or the health food store or wherever it is, Whole Foods, whatever, now you can hand this out. And what happens is people will fill this out. They'll rate you how you did. But at the bottom, it says, I'm part of a club or organization that would be interested in having the doctor speak. So a lot of our next talks come right from the audience that you spoke to. And then they also get, each presentation includes a summary handout of whatever we talked about for them to take home with them as well. So they're getting information from you about chiropractic. They're getting the MyoVision e-scan results. They've got something tangible. They got something in their e-box. They can social media share it. To us, this has been the best way of repetitive speaking engagements at businesses. And sometimes what happens is someone sees you there for the talk in May, and they kind of just saw you, but then in July or August, they see you again, and this guy's back again, and now it's a different talk, and so they might bring a friend with them or something like that. It's a great way to keep in that business you worked so hard to get in for one talk.
And develop relationships with your community. I mean, that's huge, and get to be known as an expert and known as someone who really has helped them understand something. I mean, that's really incredibly valuable. I've also seen a lot of guys, a lot of docs out there that have actually gone down the road of trying to create these themselves. And it's funny because I have a friend that I stopped to see what he's doing, and it's 5 years later, and he still doesn't have 1/10 of what you've got together at this point. So the point is that no one has time to actually develop this stuff, and it's great that you've actually basically canned, put into a package all the stuff that you do, and you do very, very well.
Thank you.
And they can also customize it. That's the cool part. It's not just, hey, follow my path here. It's like, go ahead and change it if you want to, which I love.
That is so important. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when we've been at expos and when we've been selling these in states at different chiropractic conferences and conventions, when the doctors that have purchased from us come up and they talk to me, that's their number one thing. They aren't interested in something that this is the way Dr. Patrick Frain says it. They want to add their logo. They want to add their brand. If someone's doing the nutrition, improving health through nutrition talk, let's say, maybe they have a particular supplement that they like to recommend for a particular nutrition thing. Add it. Every slide that's on here is completely editable, brandable, changeable. If you don't like it, take it out, delete it. If you want to duplicate that slide and put some of their information in, they can. The other thing that the product's been endorsed by Dr. Alan Russo, and when Alan was coaching us, he had said, there's enough content in here. He said, you could do this as a half-day seminar, or it's designed well enough that you can chunk it down and make it a 20-minute lunch and learn, and it still stands on its own. But with the MyoVision edition of this, it adds that next component that we found a need for, was how do you link the presentations with then doing the screening and getting them to make that appointment. And that's what we're really proud of on this new release is to be able to link
Right.
those two, and it's really had some great success.
Yeah, and that personal information they get from the MyoVision is so powerful because it just makes it so real to them. You know, to see actually, and you know, you're doing the test in about 30 seconds of each patient,
Right.
and you do the neck and the low back, and that's it. And then you send them off with something with all your information in there, you know, and it shows up in their, you know, one thing really cool is it shows up 3 places. They everybody's got a smartphone now. They get it there. They get it on their iPad or their tablet, and they get it in their email.
Yep.
And you get it right
Yep.
away. It's instant, and they'll always. I've seen people where they actually they get this information in the e-scan, and they'll call 2 months later and say, hey, I've decided I want to, you know, do this. That's where I've seen some
Yep.
really cool things is they don't lose the information. They save it. The image is
Yep.
saved. So it's
The
fantastic
other
stuff.
the other thing I think is really cool about it as well is, and let's face it, we live in a computer society. You need to be high tech. And I think the days of going out and giving a flip chart presentation or even to just simply give a PowerPoint,
Right.
it almost isn't enough anymore.
Right.
What this is doing is it's setting you apart as a MyoVision doctor in your community. It's setting you apart that you are the most technologically advanced office that, you know, let's face it, they go to the hospitals and there's machines and MRIs and all these diagnostic tests that they roll in on carts. And you know what? In your chiropractic office in XYZ town, you have the state-of-the-art chiropractic technology, and that goes a big way. When we're done giving a talk, as whatever our topic is, to be honest with you, truthfully, there's more conversation about the MyoVision information than even the specific recommendations you may have given about whatever it was avoiding the flu.
Right.
They're so impressed with the fact that you have this technology. And then we also provide in the package, we also provide you all of our strategy to be able to close that person and to make the appointment on the spot.
Fantastic.
It's something doctors asked for. How do you close? And we have a very, very high closing rate for people to make appointments. And we share with our ChiroPoint doctors exactly how to do that, who to bring with, how to bring a CA with you, how to make appointments on the spot. And you know, here's this one. I got to add this one.
Sure.
One of our latest things has been we have patients in the office. Sometimes doctors say, well, I'm not sure how to make contacts. Talk to your patients. We have a gal in the office. She's an Arbonne rep. She sells Arbonne makeup supplies. Well, one day we were talking, and I says, you know, we have a presentation called Your Health is Skin Deep. How many women are you planning on having at your next talk? And she says, well, I have like a dozen coming. And she goes, we're going to have some snacks and things, and then get into the sales portion. And I said, how would you like us to be your guest speaker for Your Health is Skin Deep? And we can talk about that, and we can tie in some of your Arbonne stuff. Well, it went over gangbusters. She e-blasted everyone. She said, we've got our doctors going to be coming in, our wellness doctors coming in, talking about skincare products. And that's what that talk does. It talks about all the different chemicals that are in products and why you should choose a really high-end skincare line. Well, she loved it. She reported back to us that her sales were through the roof that day for Arbonne.
Wow.
Because we were able to brand it in for her really easily by adding a couple of Arbonne logos to the slides, no problem. Then what really happened for our side of things, 12 to 14 women are there, 10 or 11 of them are getting the e-scan, and they're making appointments with us for the following week. And that's exciting. It's really exciting. And then you've built, what's really neat is you've built a relationship with that person at the Arbonne party. They know you, they've met you, they've talked to you. It's so different than if you buy a newspaper ad, you put it out there, it's a shotgun approach, you don't know who's going to call, they don't know you. Where here, they've already bought you and your information. Now when they come in to do their exam, they're relaxed, and then they want to see the rest of MyoVision, the range of motion and all the other things that you can do.
That's very, very cool. So yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. You're developing these great relationships. And more than anything else, what you described, well, this is true in any company too. The person that brings you into the company, when you provide this information and are helpful to them, you've created a win-win. You've created a win-win, a win for you, a win for them, and that's the ideal situation. And I think that both your presentation and the MyoVision help seal that and make it so that it really is a win-win. So
I agree.
That's great. So we're gonna have to wrap it up here. So just tell us a little bit. What's your website address, or how would they get information on this?
Yep, it's www.chiropoint.co for company. and they can go on there. The website is fully updated. They can actually see all 12 topics that are there. There's a description as to what's included for each month's presentation. There's some sample slides. I actually just randomly picked 3 slides from each month's presentation so they can see what the slides look like. There's also, we have a neat little thing on there. It's 50 plus places to do your health talks and your MyoVision screenings, and we literally have 50 different places that the doctors can go, giving them ideas as to where they can do these ChiroPoint MyoVision screenings, which is really awesome. And there's everything on there. There's ability to purchase right on there. They can purchase through the MyoVision site. You know, whatever is easiest for them works, and it's just a great way to go. But it's www.chiropoint.co, and that gets them there. And we also, to be honest with you, I have my cell phone is on there. It's my number, 920-737-2403, and they can call me. I'll answer if I'm in between patients, leave a message, but I can answer any questions as well. I'm not a fan of press 1, press 2, go through someone in another country. I'll talk to them, and we can get them anything they want answered. We try to give really personal, customized service.
That's great. Thank you so much. You're doing a wonderful thing for the profession, and I know that I've seen this, and I think everybody should have it, really. I mean, anybody that wants to get out there, the 80s are over. We have to get out, and we have to get we have to get out there, and having information like this is incredibly valuable. It makes it so easy. You can fast track yourself from 0 to fully ready to do this with just your software and the MyoVision together. That combination is deadly. So I really appreciate what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Well, we just, our biggest thing is we thank you very much. We wanted to save doctors time. We know there's 900 hours into this. It's more important if a new doctor comes out, or an associate or someone, you got to be out giving the presentations and doing the MyoVision scans. You cannot be sitting in your back office creating these, because you'll never get them done, and it doesn't bring new patients in the door. This is done for you. They buy your system. It pays for itself, and they reach their objective of serving patients, which is what we all want.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Frain, for being on. I appreciate it greatly.
Thank you very much, David. I appreciate it as well. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now.